Okay, so this is just a short video about annotating your readers. On the screen here you can see my Dropbox. Let me find my own version in the Dropbox. Okay. Here we go. So this already is, since I already have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed. In fact, I have Adobe Pro, but any of you can go to adobe.com and download Adobe Acrobat Reader, which is free. That's what I recommend that you use in annotating your readers. And here you can see it's already, my computer already knows what to open this with, so let's go ahead and open it. Okay, let me drag it over from my other screen. Here we go. My copy of the reader. Now, it's fairly simple to annotate your texts, and I think as you go along, you will develop your own style of annotation. Really, the goal of the annotations is for you to simplify the reading, to better comprehend the reading, and also to create a structure within the reading text itself so that when you return to it to study, for instance, for midterms, exams, or whatever, or simply in the future, you can very quickly find the most important aspects of the text. What this means is when you are reading a text in this class or any other class, the first job, the first reading of the text, what you're going to want to do there is to try to break apart each sentence, each paragraph, to understand, first of all, usually from the topic sentence of the paragraph, what the goal of the paragraph is, and how within the paragraph there is certain evidence presented in support of that, or there are certain statements made to further explain the main idea of the paragraph. Some paragraphs you will find as you're reading simply are no longer particularly important for your purposes. In this text, in the text by Copernicus here that we're reading, for instance, there are many, not all, but there are many paragraphs that deal with geometrical topics or historical topics that simply don't interest us any longer and don't have any obvious humanistic significance that we would want to explore in this course. So those paragraphs, although they are there, are things that you can very quickly also mark, if you like, or by not marking them, you know in the future when you return to them that they are not of great value. Now, I can jump to the beginning of my text very easily here using these bookmarks. I'll explain those in a moment. So the point I was making was through highlighting, you're not only marking what is important, but you're also indirectly marking, by not marking it, what you don't find to be important. So that's one of the things you do when you read a text for the first time. A great deal of effort goes into asking yourself, is this really important for me to know and to understand, or is it not? And if it is, then you should perhaps spend a little more time breaking it down and looking more deeply into it, right? So if you are going to just begin annotating, you can find, usually over on the side here, a little window that says comment. When you click that comment button, I'm just waiting on it to open. It will open at the top of your screen a little pane of tools. Hopefully faster than it is doing so on my computer. Okay, there we go. Let me take you through those tools very quickly. So you can draw on your text, clicking the drawing tool here, and you can draw. Right? So you can see I used it to draw sometimes arrows or other things. You can, once To stop drawing, you re-click this and it loses its color. And now you just have the normal thing. If you want to delete what you are drawing, you can highlight it and delete it and it's gone. Also, you can draw boxes. These are somewhat useful. These are text boxes. So once you draw the box, then you are able to type inside of it. Again, if your computer is not slow like mine, it'll go much faster. Right? And then when you click away out of the box, it becomes a permanent feature of your text. You can add sticky notes. These here. Now, if you double click, once you place the sticky note, you double click, then over here on the side you can type whatever notes you want and they will stay in your document. So let's delete that sticky note. There is highlighting. Highlighting, you simply click the highlighting tool and then you highlight it and it will remain there. You can delete that. Underlining. Underline just like that, clicking the underlining tool and then highlighting it and it will underline. Also, if you right click on the underlining, you can click properties. Once you click properties, you can change the color of the underlining. So you can use various colors of underlining. Sometimes, for instance, an idea, I'll show you below. You click on the color. It'll bring up this little color pane. My computer seems to be having difficulty with this today. Click on the little pencils. That's the easiest way I find to change the colors. You can here you can use teal, okay, hit teal, close, hit okay, and you see the underlining has changed to teal. Why might you want different colors? Well, for instance, down here, I have some examples of this. So, for instance, one of the things I do is often you'll find these philosophers and writers are making arguments, right? And so, for instance, here you'll say, the sphere is the most perfect, right? That is a statement, and then what follows is the reason or justification for that statement. So I chose to underline that statement in green, and then to underline the reason or justification given for that statement in a different color. If, say, for instance, you could have a statement like this, the sphere is the most perfect, and he maybe gives 2 or 3 different reasons, and you could give each of those a different color if you wanted to. As you can see down here, I use these boxes simply to highlight for myself what is going on in the text. I created a box, and I just put one sentence to summarize what was going on in this passage. Tip for underlining and highlighting. You see in some places I've both highlighted and underlined. I hadn't really decided how I wanted to do that yet. Here I drew numbers for different parts of the text. But when you both want to underline and highlight in the same text, as you see here, you have to do the underlining before you do the highlighting. Otherwise, if you first highlight and then you try to do the underlining, every time you click this or try to highlight it to put the underlining underneath, it will select the entire highlighted area, and so you can't put underlining afterwards for only part of that text. So keep that in mind. Now here on the side, you'll see that I have these bookmarks. You can open the bookmarks going to View, open this bookmarks pane, and this is also very helpful. What I did in my text, if you watch, if I click Nicholas Copernicus under bookmarks, it takes me to the main page of Nicholas Copernicus. I created these myself. If I click 1, it takes me to where I put a little 1 in a box. What I did was I took this box, I used the select the text box selection. I placed it here. I put a 1 inside, and then I highlighted it, and I right-clicked. Or did I not right-click? No. Then once I had highlighted it, I hit plus bookmark up here. This creates a new bookmark, and it essentially takes this box and makes it an area that whenever I click here, it will bring me to that area on the text. So number 6, you see it took me there. 5, 12. So this can be a very, very handy way of moving around your text. Now I just gave these numbers. I could have given these, and you may want to. For instance, here, let's take an example further on in the text. I could have used my general summary that I used here. So for instance, instead of 12, in here I could have put astronomy makes us better people. Right? And there's my highlight. So if I wanted to go to that topic, I could just click that. All right? So here, and there I am. If you create a bookmark and you want to get rid of it, you just hit the delete bookmark, and it'll delete whatever bookmark you have here. Now, when you are highlighting, I would suggest that you very frequently, or when you're annotating your notebook, you very frequently go to File and hit Save. That way, if your electricity goes out or any other problem occurs, you do not. It's safe in the Dropbox, and it's there. So if you have any further questions about how you might annotate your notebook, do send them to me by email or otherwise ask me during class. Some advice maybe on, I think I've pretty much said what you need to know about how to, or what to annotate in your notebook. And as we go through this class in the first section on Copernicus, pay attention to how I've annotated my own notebook. And as I go, it'll change. And as I said earlier, it's a matter of your own style. It's for your own purposes. You do what works for you. If you need to draw pictures in the margins, whatever you find works for you is what I'm looking for in the annotations. So good luck with that.